feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, good evening to you all. Great to be back a little earlier tonight, which is nice. I did not know that Trish had finished half an hour ago. I had no idea. Otherwise, I probably would have been on a little earlier. We could have got started very, very early, but that's okay. That's okay. Hey, I wanted to talk while we sort of get settled in for the night. I want to bring a story up, and I sort of just want to have a conversation about it for a couple of minutes because I think it's really important that we talk about it. And here it is. There's some like things in here, some topics that I really want to just talk about because I think it's important with true crime. And I want to talk about like limits on true crime and what what in life like do we really need to, I don't know. Hey, good to see you guys. Hey, good to see you all. So, 24 hours or so ago, the PD put up a new trove of photos, thousands for the Idaho thing for Brian Koberger. Thousands of photos, crime scene photos. And I don't want to go too far down here, but hey, there's the four of them there. But I don't want to go down too far. Is this one okay to show? Not really. Um, yeah, I'm not going to show that. There's thousands of these photos that got released. And I don't know, guys. I've watched crime scene videos and photos, and I've seen X, Y, and Z. They said they redacted these photos, and I went through them, and I went to have a look, and I've gone through the entire pack of them, and there's photos in there that are not redacted. They are not redacted. There's a photo in there that shows a body bag, and I want to say it's Zana in there. I hope I'm probably gonna mix the names up, so don't yell at me, but I think it's Zana in there. Um, you can see her hair, and then the body bag is like half zipped open. There's another one where you can see another one of the females, and you can actually see her at the bottom of the image, and you can see her part of her face, and you can see her arm. You can see defensive wounds on her arm, and you can see the clothing she was wearing. There's another photo that seems to have a photo of her, one of the girls' personal pleasuring devices. Like they snapped a photo of it. Why? I don't know why you need to do that, but it's really crazy to me. Like there's one thing to give out crime scene photos. Like that happens in a lot of cases, and that's not a problem. That's sort of the law in a lot of these cases where at the end there has to be a disclosure of the evidence and like, fair enough. But I get it's a really large job to do all this too. Like it's a very, very difficult, like you're talking like maybe total 5,000 photos or more. And but at the end of the day, there's family out there, there's extended family, there's people that will see this. And if you actually, well, I'm not going to scroll down on this article, but the Daily Mail actually showed the photos in this article. And I was like, is that the depths of where we're at in true crime? That we would actually go through not only these photos, but a mainstream media company would put them up on the front page of their website in full view of everyone. And it just feels to me like there's no boundaries anymore. There's no boundaries. Like it's one thing to dissect these things for the scientific or for research or whatever, and then there's like a lack of respect. And I feel like that's what happened here. There's a lack of respect to the victims and the family. And that's why I won't show them to you. I'm not going to be bringing them up on the show or anything. Um, I was tempted to bring up like one that was innocuous just to show you like what they look like, but the majority of them have, you know, blood and things like that. I don't want to do that to you all. Um, does this one have anything? I think this one's okay. Yeah, I'll put one up. I don't see anything in this photo. Like here you go. Here's one of the random photos from the pile of photos that came out. There's no, I can't see anything in this one that looks bad or anything. But you know, there's thousands of photos like this going throughout the home and taking all these different photos. It's crazy. Um, Montana said people have gotten desensitized. Well, I think it's a two-pronged issue. One is that the job wasn't done properly about redacting the photos. Now, a lot of them are redacted, and you can tell there is obviously a body or something behind the redaction. Great, you know, that's good work. But yeah, there's a whole bunch there that there's you can see in a reflection, and you can like something that they have redacted is now visible in a reflection that they didn't look at. So there might be a mirror or a light bulb or something, some sort of surface which can reflect what they've redacted. And it's just like, well, what was the point of redacting it? There's one photo where you can see two victims, and a male and a female, and you can see them in situ. So it's crazy to me. I've probably viewed more true crime than a lot of people, and even I was shocked at these photos. I was like, "Is this something that's necessary at all?" Like, it's just bizarre to me. I don't get it. Rachel said the last document dump, they didn't redact personal info. Sadly, that didn't make them be more careful. Yeah, this was awful. I'd love to show you an example, but that just breaks what I'm talking about. Like I said, I described a few of them to you, and I think one of the most egregious ones was the full-on shot of I don't know which person it is. Sorry, people are going to be like, "You don't know this case at all, Ping." No, I do. I just don't know all the girls' names. Um, might be Maddie. No, no, no. That's uh, I don't know. It's the girl with the dark hair, whatever her name is. Good work, Ping. It's the girl with the dark colored hair. It's her. You can see her, and that to me is so awful. I mean, to do that to her family, no one needs to see her deceased in the photos, and like it's basically what we call in situ. So she is exactly where she died. Like, so where she died, that's where she is located in the photo. So yeah, it's just sad to me. I just don't really get it. I think that we can do better than that in life, and we don't have to re-victimize people by putting this out in the public domain and splashing it across like the Daily Mail on the front. It was on the front page of the Daily Mail, and I swear if you go through this article, you'd just be like, "Is this mainstream news?" Like, you'd be like, "This is something you buy a specialty true crime book to go find if that's what you wanna look at." It's very odd to me. Hey, Nate, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you, Nate. Rachel said, "This is part of the reason the judge wanted all of this being released in small pieces." Wow. I didn't work. Greaves, hey Greaves, how are you, my friend? Montana said it's bad enough to see the blood cast high up on the walls. The crime scene, I can tell you, is brutal. Like it's It's really bad. Like it's a house of horrors. If that's the way they described it at trial or in court, I would agree. There's just I don't know how the forensic techs did it. So I don't know how they did it. I really don't. It would have been stuff everywhere. Yeah, so people want to know who we're talking about. We're talking about the Idaho Fall. And if you don't know what we're talking about, there was a series of documents that were photos that were released in a dump of crime scene photos, and they are just, I mean, I'm scrolling through the article now, and it's just like, does this need to be on the mainstream news site? Like, it is very graphic. And then you see stuff like this. I think this one's okay to show. This one doesn't show any blood or anything. So here, look at this. You see all the blue everywhere? You see all the blue on the stairs and things like that? Here, I'll show you right here. You see all the blue? This is the other thing that you see throughout the photos. Luminol everywhere. There is luminol all over the house. And in a lot of photos, you just see this blue luminol. Yeah, just everywhere. It's like got footprints in it, and it's dried up, and it's set, and um, so if you don't know what luminol is sprayed on surfaces to try and find traces of blood. And when they spray it and they use it in a particular application, they can then use a UV light, and it'll pick up traces of blood. So they'll often use it on crime scenes to possibly find an offender's blood, something that had been cleaned up. There's a few different ways they use it. Um, Chipmunk said, I'd hate to be trying to move on and that pops up on my screen and it's my child. I'd be ticked. Yeah, I agree. It is pretty awful. So I just wanted to have a chat about that for a couple of minutes because I know a lot of people are looking at these over the last 24 hours. And I know a lot of people had the same complaints that I'm talking to you about as well. That while the normal crime scene photos where you see the ruler and the might even have some blood or whatever, that like that's part and parcel of a crime scene. Like that's fine. Like I understand why that has to happen. But the other things, that's where like sort of the breach of um decency, respect, that type of thing has been gone. Hey Tangled, how are you? You lost your vision in your right eye. Oh, that's terrible, my friend. I hope you're all right. Laura says, thank you for the warning. Yeah, be careful if you're searching anything about the Idaho Fall. A lot of places are just posting them. And like the couple that I showed you are like the most innocent ones out of them. The ones on the Daily Mail are really graphic, really, really graphic. You know what's crazy? In the Daily Mail one, they talk about how, oh, they release these photos that they shouldn't. And do you know what they did? I don't know if did they remove it? I'm just gonna double check. I don't know if they removed the photo or not. Ah, they removed it. Let me double check. Did they? Oh no, they didn't. They're talking about how like there's photos in there that shouldn't be there, and that they didn't want to post it because they're like, oh, we're a good media company. We don't want to post photos that we shouldn't. They left in the photo that has the victim in the body bag, and it's Zana in her room, and she's in the black body bag, and they posted it. And I was like, you just spent like two paragraphs at the top of the article saying how you're like this respectful media company and that you weren't going to post like the worst photos, yet you post one of the worst examples out of the entire set. So, yeah. I just feel like sometimes it's like, where does it stop in true crime, really? Um, yeah. Anyway, I wanted to have a chat with that for a couple of minutes. All right, I'll take you to the news. Um, Today there was an update, so you guys may know. So this is not a crime, but it is some breaking news. Canadian backpacker Piper James, who was killed on Kagari Island in Queensland. Now, they have been trying to determine whether she was killed by dingoes or whether she drowned or had a medical episode, and then the dingoes were opportunistic, and then like they were eating her basically. And they were trying to figure out whether this was a dingo attack or not. Well, the first autopsy has now been completed, but it doesn't seem like we're going to get any answers. According to the coroner's court in Queensland, they are waiting for toxicology and more scientific testing to be done. And I find that very fascinating because here's a photo of Piper James here. I find it very fascinating because there's very simple tests that you can do to tell whether someone drowned. You will find salt water in their lungs, that type of thing. Very easy to determine whether they drowned or not. Why do they need toxicology? It's very strange. I find that odd because originally we were told, hey, they're just trying to find a manner of death, whether this is a wild animal attack or she drowned. Well, they would know by now if she drowned, definitely, because as soon as they do the autopsy, they would take samples from her lungs, possibly even cut them open, or sometimes they push on them to see if they can get any salt water to come back out, and they would know by now. So I'm interested to know what are they looking for in toxicology results. Strange, very odd. Lisa says, super sticker. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you. Rachel said, now I'm wondering if they suspect foul play. Be very interesting. Be very interesting if it went in that direction. Montana says, sounds like they are covering up the worst case scenario. I mean, I find it strange because if she drowned, why not just say that she drowned? You don't need a toxicology test to determine that. You will literally find water in her lungs. That's how people drown. And if there's no water in her lungs, then was it the animals? Or do they think that maybe she had a heart attack, a stroke? Is there other things that maybe could have happened? But yeah, so they're saying right now, we're not going to get any answers for at least a couple of months. It's going to take a couple of months for them to run through that other scientific testing that they need to do to determine a manner of death. So that is your update with that. We had been waiting for the autopsy to be completed, and yet they're saying here further scientific testing is required, and it could take some time. So that is your update from that autopsy. So yeah, if you don't know, a girl on or a woman on Kagari Island the other day was found dead on the beach, and they found 12 dingoes surrounding her, and they said that the dingoes had been feeding on her or trying to feed on her, and then they were trying to work out whether they had attacked and killed her or she died some other way. So that is sort of, if you hadn't heard this story before, that is why we're talking about it. But yeah, more testing required. And they said here the Coroner's Court of Queensland confirms that the death of Piper James has been reported and is being investigated by the coroner. Following the autopsy, further scientific testing will be required. These further results and establishing the cause of death may take some time. They said her family has been kept up to date with the changing situation, so they have been told what's going on, and that's pretty good. But we'll have to wait. What? How do I get packed fettuccine not to stick? I got no idea. I got no idea. I don't even. I don't. When I make pasta, I don't use fettuccine. So Um, Blaze says, so sad, poor young lady. Condolences to her family. I agree. It is an awful story. Girl came here to sort of live her dreams, have fun in a foreign country, and just be a young person, and ended up dead on Kagari Island. So very, very sad. We'll see what happens over the coming weeks, whether we get an update in her manner of death. Okay, all right. I have another update. It's been a day of updates, apparently. Where is my story? So in Idaho, we're going to stay in Idaho, apparently. Unfortunately, there's been a very awful crime up there, and I can't read out all these words due to YouTube, but husband and wife dead in apparent murder S word near Idaho Wyoming border. It's never the article that you want to see, right? Especially with a cute family like this. What a beautiful mom and her little babies. And unfortunately, it's sounding like a domestic dispute ended in tragedy Wednesday morning near the Idaho Wyoming border, leaving a husband and wife dead following a tense standoff with law enforcement. And according to the Bonneville County Sheriff's Office, 43-year-old Christopher Moon shot and killed his wife. She's 23-year-old Cassandra Moon before turning the gun on himself. I'm hoping her children are okay. They don't say anything here. Yeah, I'm gonna go to their GoFundMe and whether the little kids survived or not. Okay, so the children did survive. That is great. Their GoFundMe has raised almost 21,000, almost $22,000 so far, and her name was Cassie Klinger, and that's a photo that I showed you before. And yeah, unfortunately, her husband shot and killed her during a standoff with authorities. Uh, Happens far too often. I think I read about 5 to 10 of these every single week. Every single week I read about them, and it never gets any easier to talk about them. Here I wanted to go to this one. We had like a little video we wanted to play here.
Sheriff's deputies are called to a domestic disturbance near the Idaho-Wyoming border, arriving to find one person dead and another threatening his own life.
The brief standoff occurred on the Idaho side of Jackknife Road near Etna, Wyoming. Local News 8's Miley Sipersuth was at the scene earlier today and joins us now in the studio. Miley, what did the deputies say happened?
Well, thank you, Doug and Linda. Bonneville County dispatchers received a call just after 8 a.m. from a man identified as 43-year-old Christopher Moon. Moon told deputies he had just shot his wife and he was going to kill himself. Deputies were speaking to him on the phone as they arrived to convince him to surrender peacefully, but Moon turned the gun on himself. The SWAT team was also activated along with the Lincoln County, Wyoming Sheriff's Office and Star Valley ambulances. There was also a hostage negotiator and drone team at the scene as well.
Crime scene is relatively small and you know, in a small area and contained. You know, we're fortunate it was resolved quickly and didn't affect any other residents here, at least directly. So you know, this is a small area. Everybody knows everybody, so it is going to affect you know, people that are familiar with those involved.
The victim has been identified as 23-year-old Cassandra Moon. Live in the studio, Miley Sipersuth, Local News 8.
How awful to live in that beautiful countryside. Did you see the background? Yeah, we'll go back. Look at that. Imagine living out there with all those snow-covered mountains and, you know, as far as the eye can see it, it is so beautiful out there. And to have such an awful crime happen, especially to this young family, and this guy on the phone to the cops basically saying, I'm going to, you know, take myself from this world because I've killed my wife. Uh, it just it never ends. It never ends. There's always another guy willing to do this to his own family. And it happened early in the morning. 8:06 a.m. is when they received the 911 call from the guy, Christopher Moon, and indicated that he had the gun and was going to follow through. And then they sent out authorities out there. Apparently, they did establish brief contact with him over the phone, attempting to convince him to surrender peacefully. Apparently, moments later, he was observed using the gun to commit the act. And they said no other people were involved or harmed except for his wife and him. And they're saying that, like you heard there was a crime scene, but it was very small, contained to a, a small area of the home. So, yeah, 43, 3 children. Yes, that's what it was. Uh, yeah, he was 43. Hold on. He was 43. She was 20 years his junior. So she was, 23. So she was quite a bit younger than him. That's a you know, interesting relationship considering when when she was born, he was 20 years old. I always find that a bit odd because he was like a grown up at the time when she was brought into this world as a child. I don't know. Always seems a bit strange to ping. I mean, it's legal and there's nothing that, we should be looking down upon them for, but it wouldn't work for me. I don't know if I could do that because I would be like, you were born like I was already in my 20s by the time you came into the world. I don't think I could do that. Um Kim said that is messed up. I agree. Laura T said, I'll never understand why they have to take others out. Couldn't just be himself. Control. Control and power over someone else. That's what it would be. Danny said, my ex did not kill me with his 45 caliber. Well, I'm glad he didn't, and I'm glad you're here today. I don't think I want your ex to do that. Um, so we don't do too many stories out of Idaho and Wyoming, but although we did the Idaho 4, but other than that, we don't do a ton of stories out there. But I wanted to bring it to you because it was breaking news today. Um, you remember we spoke about a young boy. Uh, his name is sort of like Aaron, and he was killed by his neighbor's dogs a few weeks ago. He had gone missing. They didn't know where he was. After the dogs killed the young boy, the neighbor took his body and dumped him across state lines and basically dumped him. Well, we're not going to talk about that, but I wanted to talk about a very similar sort of situation, but this time a woman. There's a woman, her name is Brandy Dowdy. She's 43 of Red Bay, was found guilty in November of one count of manslaughter, one count of criminally negligent homicide, and 2 counts of violating Emily's Law, which enhances the penalties in cases involving serious dog attacks. And so her dogs attacked and killed someone, and she is facing 41 years in prison. And when you take that, 41 years in prison, she was charged with basically manslaughter and a type of homicide too. But then you look at the guy in Aaron's case, and he's not been charged with anything like that. So this is in Alabama though. I think the other one is Oklahoma, and I find that strange that a state or two apart, how different the penalties can be. Because he's going to get out. The guy who killed the little boy, well, not he didn't kill him. The dogs did. He will only get a few years in jail, most likely. Just a few, like 3 years, something like that. This woman, 41 years in jail for her dogs harming and killing people. I find the discrepancy a bit odd. All right, here, I'll play this thing for you.
The trial continues tonight for a Red Bay woman charged in the dog mauling deaths of 2 people. Brandy Dowdy is facing manslaughter charges for the deaths of Michelle Sheeks and Summer Beard, whom prosecutors say were killed by Dowdy's dogs back in April 2022. WAY 31 reporter Paige Meyer spent the day in the courtroom, and she now joins us live from the Franklin County Courthouse with all the details. Paige?
Tori, the state finally rested today after spending 8 days in the courtroom and with more than 20 witnesses testifying. Now it's the defense's turn, with their first witness taking the stand this afternoon, and that person being Brandy Dowdy's daughter. Now, if you recall, prosecutors say that Michelle Sheeks and Summer Beard were killed by Dowdy's dogs back in April of 2022. The lead investigator testified that he believes not only did the dogs belong to Dowdy, but caused these 2 deaths. However, during the defense's cross-examination, investigator Kyle Palmer could not say for certain which dogs caused Sheeks and Beard's injuries. Dowdy's legal team filed a motion for acquittal and mistrial today following the state's resting. Now,
that motion it didn't happen because she was found guilty. And like I said, she is waiting sentencing right now. And 41 years is what she could get. 41 years. So it killed so she was convicted. Yeah. So Michelle Sheeks, with 44, was attacked in April of 22 by Dowdy's dogs while walking along County Highway 11. Sheeks was hospitalized for several months and died from her injuries in July of 2022. What a prolonged death. How horrible. And then in May of that year, May of 22, Summer Beard, 58, an Alabama Department of Health employee, was attacked and killed by the same group of dogs while investigating the earlier incident. Dowdy was convicted of manslaughter in Beard's death. So in the first lady's death, Michelle, she was convicted of criminally negligent homicide. And in Summer's one, this lady was literally investigating the first death, and then she was killed by the group of dogs. That was a manslaughter charge. So this lady's been well and truly found guilty. And Dowdy's attorneys argued she did not solely own the dogs involved. What does that matter? What does that matter? You're like, wow, there's a group of lions outside. There's like 8 of them. They killed 100 people. But like, I don't own all the lions out there. I only own 2 of the lions. Like, do you think anyone would care? They'd be like, so who cares? 2 of them still belong to you and kill people. I mean, how do you differentiate between that? What do you do? Bring the dogs in, question them? How many people did you kill? How many bites did you do? It's not possible. You have to be responsible for the animals that you keep. And if you can't be responsible and they get out and they hurt people, then it's your ass. It's your ass, really. You know, you're the one who's going to face the consequences because you knew, you own them, you didn't do enough to protect the public and keep them on your land, then it's your freaking fault. Don't be coming into court and crying in court and, oh, I didn't know, there's not all my dogs, and no one gives a fuck. Do you know who we care about? The people who your dogs hurt. That's who we care about. So sick of people who have no friggin' morals and don't give a crap about anyone else. Like people that own these animals and just be like, oh, I just let him get out. Oh, I didn't fix the fence because I couldn't afford it or whatever. But, you know, I just let him wander all over the neighborhood and make a pact with other animals in the neighborhood. And then they go and terrorize people. Like, I think the communities, even in Melbourne where I live, are sick of it. sick of people just being like pushing their stuff onto everyone else. Like everyone else has to deal with it because you can't be responsible. Well, now this lady's going to find out exactly what happens when you can't be a responsible member of society and that you hurt someone. You killed two people basically. Animals that you owned killed on two separate occasions and you did nothing. So they killed one person a month before and you're just like, "Yeah, that's all right. They do that sometimes." They killed the person who was investigating the first death, and you're just like, "Yeah, all right." Huh, but they're not all my dogs. No one cares. How about we just arrest all of you then? We'll give you all the same charge. Like, it's ridiculous. They're trying to squirming and weaseling out of it. Like, no, take some responsibility. Danny says, keep your dogs on a leash. They are wild if not on a leash. Keep your dogs in your yard. I think that's a big thing that is like a problem. Keep your dogs on your property. Don't let them wander down the street and get into other people's places and run after the cat next door. Just keep him in your property. Like that's your responsibility as a pet owner. Um, there's laws down here where I live in Victoria. If you have a dog who can jump a fence, you have to build a higher fence. And if you don't and that dog gets out, they'll take the dog from you. They'll take it and say that you don't own it anymore. Because I'll say, well, you are irresponsible and that you can't look after it because you won't invest the money to keep it safe and keep your neighbors safe. That we'll just take the animal. And that's what they do sometimes down here. Kim says, my little Havamole, she goes in my backyard on a leash, but she is tiny. Callie Girl said, is the defendant one of the ladies in the photo? I can get you a photo of her. Hold on. This is the woman here. This is a woman here, Brandy Dowdy, and now she faces up to 41 years in prison because she could not look after her own animals. So here is actually a different photo. The woman on the left here, this is her first victim. This is no, that's the second victim. That is Summer Beard. That is on the left. On the right is Michelle Sheiks, and she is the second victim. So she killed, or her animals did, these two ladies. Awful, awful. Apparently, she is appealing her conviction and that she has put in the paperwork to appeal. Of course she has. What an awful woman. What an awful lady. So I find it awful that the lady you see on the far right, she is the one who was in hospital for several months after the mauling and only died after several painful months in hospital. She tried to survive, she tried to battle her way through and ended up losing the fight to her injuries. I think that is you know, there's people who get shot and killed and at least it was quick, right? Several months in hospital to end up dying, like hours and days and being treated and having operations and you still don't make it. That is horrible. Kelly J said, I hate irresponsible animal owners. They really piss me off. Yeah, me too. And I think it's several different things. It's like people who don't keep their animals in their yard, people who don't look after their animals, like feed them, take them to the vet, get them checkups and things like that. There's multiple areas where people there's some people out there that don't deserve to have an animal because they can't seem to do the right thing. And this lady is one of them, Brandy Dowdy. What does it say here? crazy. The lady that you see on the far left, she was killed when she was attempting to contact Brandy about the death of the first woman. She had gone to the property to try and interview her about how did the other lady get attacked when she was attacked by the dogs at that exact moment. Must have been horrifying for her. Horrifying. Imagine that. You're like, your boss is like, hey, you got to go into wherever and you got to go and investigate the death of another woman because she was bitten by dogs. And you're like, okay, boss, I'm going to go do that. And then you yourself are killed by the dog. That poor lady, for sure. Hey, Lux, how are you? Amber alerts are going crazy on my TV and phones for a 7-year-old girl named Brinley Nelson. Okay, hold on. Let me have a look. Nope, not here. Okay. Yeah, 5 minutes ago. Hold on. I'm losing my voice for some reason. Hold on. All right, in Minnesota, Sherburne County, in Minnesota, they're saying it is a missing girl, but I can't. Yeah, Amber Alert here, Minnesota Department of Public Safety. Are you effing serious? It's giving me this. Uh, she's 7 years old. Okay, I'm trying to find a website I can get to. Hold on. Here. This is a photo of her here. Brinley, I'm hoping is how you pronounce her name. Brinley? Okay. And she was last seen in Zimmerman in Elk River. And they're saying, have you seen me? I didn't get off the bus today. My parents cannot locate me. My bus stop is on 13th Street West in Zimmerman. And they're saying here, she may have been seen entering a black sedan. Ugh, that's not good. There's a massive search on right now. They're saying the Sherburne County Sheriff is saying anyone who is coming to Zimmerman to assist in the search for her, please go to Westwood Elementary. And they say they don't have any other information at this time, but that they do have a search location for her. Okay. So they want you to head here down to the elementary school, and this is where they're going to search from. And as you can see on the back of it, there is a wooded area. Maybe maybe they're going to have a look through here, but there is quite a lot through here too. So not good that she may have been entering a black sedan. I don't like that update. There must be a live search going on. There has to be. Hold on. Minnesota. Okay. Let me try and see if I can. There must be like a live TV or something going on. Let's have a look. Interesting. I don't see one at all, but I do see an article for her on Care 11. See, officials asking for help locating missing 7-year-old Zimmerman girl. And they're saying she was last seen wearing a black jacket, blue snow pants, white boots, and a gray hat. So there you go. What else are they saying? They're saying she should have got off the bus around 3:55 p.m. in the afternoon, and fellow riders confirmed that she was on the bus. They'd probably have a camera on the school bus, right? You would think they would. Very strange. And if she did get into a car, what would lead this child to not go home? Or why would she get on why would she get into a car she doesn't know? Yeah. Um Lux says, "Did you see what I said?" Yeah, we're talking about it. Kelly J says the article I'm reading is the black car was following the bus. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound great. All right, I'm gonna try do a bit of searching. Let's see if we can find anything else about it. I'm very like normally they have like live coverage and a camera probably down at the elementary school or something like that, but nothing. Let's have a look. All right. Let me see if I can find anything on Facebook about people talking about her. What's her last name? Nelson. Oh, no. Okay, so someone did have CCTV of her possibly walking. Here's the photo. Possibly that's her. I can't confirm it. I'm just going off what I can see. But they're saying that there's a possibility of a black car that was following. Take this with a grain of salt, please. It's coming from you know, not great authority. But yeah, okay, all right. Okay, this was from the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, and they have been putting out some of these photos of her. So that is what she was wearing in that photo that we had. That is what she was wearing. Here, this one. That is a photo of her. And yeah, there was a Amber Alert that went out. There's the Amber Alert. So very unfortunate that we have a missing 7-year-old child. And I don't know why they keep talking about this car and whether it's actually connected or people are talking crap. I can't see anything that says the authorities actually like put up the car or whatever. A lot of people reposting it. But I don't see where it originally came from. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure. But a lot of people are reposting this particular photo of the car. So, who would want to follow this 7-year-old girl while she is heading home from school? And what would convince her to get in the vehicle? Yeah, could it be like a parental kidnapping or something like that? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like custodial interference or something like that. Yeah, let me have a look. Let me take you back to the Amber Alert just so you guys can read it. And let me have a quick search over here. Ah, apparently they've had helicopters around the area of Zimmerman, uh, checking out the area, trying to find her. But according to the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, it was only 12 minutes ago that they posted on their Facebook page. So this is a pretty fresh Amber Alert, unfortunately. Never what we want to hear about, ever. Let me see if I can go to their website. No, they are racist against Australians. Let's have a look. So they have a bunch of photos for her as well. So this is from the agency. There's a photo of her. There's a photo of the young girl. And yeah, not good. Not good. Lux says the next 10 days here will have temps well below zero, down to -50 tomorrow. -50? Is that a real thing? It's from a Ring cam. It does look like from a Ring doorbell. Definitely. Yes. Well, that would be the sedan that we have here. So I would want to know more about her home life. Does she live with mum? Is mum divorced? Does she have parents who live in different households? You know, that type of thing. That's what I would want to know. But let's have a look. I really wish a local TV station was talking about it. KNSI did do a story. Authorities are seeking. All right, let me look at the local sheriff in Elk River. Ah, they're saying here, thank you to everyone who has reached out offering to help search for the little girl. We have more volunteers than we need. Please avoid the area, even though we know you want to help. We appreciate our community that wants to turn out to help each other. And that was an hour ago. So they're saying that they have more than enough people who have come out at this time of night to come and help find her. So that's really nice. That's a great thing. But they're saying here, check your Ring cameras and your property / outbuildings. So they would like you to do that if you live in the area near Zimmerman. So I need to close some tabs. We have far too many tabs open. Ping has far too many stories open. Yeah, that'll do. All right. Kim says my mama heart is breaking. It's not good. 7-year-old missing under whatever circumstance is not good. Whether it's parental abduction, parental interference, or whatever you want to call it, or it's an actual stranger abduction. They're all bad. Doesn't matter which ones they are. They're all not good. Lux says the first alert came through longer ago than that. I was driving home from hospital when the first one came through, and I left there after 10 p.m. Okay, so it's been a few hours. Okay. Let me check over here. It's really picking up steam now. There's a lot of people talking about it right now. Just trying to see if we can find out. I want to find out where that black car photo came from and whether it came from a Ring doorbell or is just an example. Because that's what I would like to know. Like, yeah, how come the footage of her is not very good quality, but the footage of the car is very good quality? See, there's people doing this. Look, they're like, we're looking for this car. Well, why is it a different photo every time we see it? That's what is getting me. And it says Amber Alert, we need to find this car, spread it out, bring Brinley back. You know, it's interesting that this photo can pick up the car but can't pick up who is inside of the car. Like there's obviously someone driving the vehicle, but it's so blurry that we can't make it out whether it's X, Y, and Z type person, if they're tall, if they're thin, can't make it out, which is very annoying. That's like my computer. When we do these stories, it takes me about 5-10 minutes to close down all of the tabs that we have for the show. Gail said parents do not meet them at the bus. I guess she probably gets off the bus and walks home, or maybe a parent did go to meet her, and when she hopped up, when she was supposed to hop off at her stop, she wasn't there. Like that is possible. Let's see. Damn, I wish there was more information. Like normally when a child goes missing like this, they turn on the local TV and um there's like a search thing and a live TV crew. What is a TV station in this area? Is it Care 11? Would that be a local? All right. Let me have a look and see if I can. Let me see if the local TV is covering it. I'm gonna check my local American TV and see if there's anyone doing it. Okay, Care 11. There is an Amber Alert at the bottom of the TV in the area. So at the bottom of the TV show, it is showing an Amber Alert. Let me see when it comes back to the coverage. Okay, not on Care 11. On the other station I was watching, they had like a little like bar, a ticker on the bottom saying that there was an Amber Alert in the local area. Let's see. They're showing an ad for Planet Fitness. Come on. Let's go back to normal coverage. If anyone is watching Care 11 in Minnesota, tell me if they're doing a search for her. Come on. How many ads do you have on your TV? There's too many ads. I sound like an old man. Okay, they're showing the late night show with Seth Meyers. I don't see an Amber Alert on Care 11. No, not on this one. There was on the other channel. I don't know what channel I was watching, but it was out of Minnesota. All right. Let me try the CBS station. Yep, it is the CBS one that has the amber alert in the bottom, and I will show it to you now. They're showing a comedy thing. Let me show you. Yeah, they are showing if you're in the local area. Yeah, they're showing an amber alert on WCCO. And there you go. Like she's wearing black pants underneath the winter clothing. Was last seen near wherever it was. So if you're in the local area, they've got a amber alert going. Woman of Steel said, "Hi, how are you?" All right. I really wish I had more to show you about it, but there's just not a lot else going on. Just a lot of stuff going on in the local area with people trying to search for her, but other than that, not really any updates. A lot of comments about it though. Let me see what else I can tell you. Um, okay, apparently she disappeared over 8 hours ago and they only got the search going for her in the last hour or so. That is terrible. 8 hours ago? That's that's terrible. Where did the car come? Like, that's what I want to know. People keep sharing this photo of the car, but where did the car photo come from? And why do people keep, like, circulating it? I haven't seen any of the authorities post this photo about the car. But yeah, here another lady, Penny Walters, saying, "Please, everyone, there is an amber alert out for my granddaughter. She was seen by one of the passengers of her school bus getting into this black car after she got off the bus. If you see a car like this anywhere, please try to see if there's a beautiful little blonde 7-year-old girl in that car. This happened hours ago, so she could be somewhere quite far away. Please share this wherever you are." So that's where it maybe came from the grandma of the little girl. Yeah, I just showed it. That was WCCO on here. This is the same channel. Like I said, they're showing some sort of comedy thing at the moment. All right. Well, look, I hope they find the little girl. I just wish I had better information for you about where it's coming from. Like, not where it's coming from, but where the search is going on. Let's see. A lot of thoughts and prayers from people. Here's another photo of her, apparently. There's another photo of the young girl for you. Okay. I wish I had more, but that is all the information I have right now on her. Even as I look online and try and find more about her, there's really not a lot. I guess because I don't know. Let's have a look. Yeah. So look, right now, even up until including the last 15 minutes, they are searching for her. They think she might have got in that car, but they're not sure. They're not 100% sure. It just comes from somebody on the bus thought they saw her enter the black car. So we have to just take that person at their word and hope and pray that someone returns her to her family or the cops are able to find them. So, oh, here, I'll put it in the Brinley Nelson. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Brinley. Oh, yeah, the streak. Hopefully, my streak continues with a live Amber Alert. And because I've mentioned it, she will now be found in the next hour. Every time I mention a missing child, they end up being found. So let's hope that is what happens. PG said you can get them all by adjusting the WEA in your phone. Okay. Yeah, there must be a way you can get them. Listen to Peachy. Peachy might know. All right. Now I don't know what we were going to talk about. We had another story that we were going to talk about. Now I don't know. Okay. All right. Maybe we're going to head to Indiana, and apparently they are looking for a missing girl, 17 years old. They consider her endangered. Her name is Haley Busby. Haley Busby. And I don't know if you guys know this one, but they're saying the search continues for missing Fisher's teen, Haley Busby. Police release new details. That's a photo of her there. And she's missing from Indianapolis. They're saying they gave an update on Tuesday about the missing person case of Haley Busby, who's been missing since January 5. They're saying she left her house either the night of January 5 or in the early hour morning of January 6. Haley left her house willingly with a plan which categorized her as a runaway. They say we do not believe she acted alone in leaving. Police say that because this is an active investigation, many of the details of the search cannot be shared publicly in order to protect Busby. So there must be something going on. The fact that they're saying they won't share details about her is concerning, but also interesting. Here, I'm going to try to see if we can get you an update on it. I cannot get you a video update, unfortunately. It looks like mostly, yeah, it's just sort of like articles. Indiana family issues plea to endangered missing 17-year-old. The only thing that matters to us is knowing that you are safe. Her parents want her back. Investigators believe she ran away and that someone was helping her because they're saying she didn't act alone. Here is her photo, by the way. Nice, very nice looking young lady, and would be good if we could get her back to her family. They're saying here, on the night of January 5, her parents said goodnight to their 17-year-old daughter and turned into bed. But the next morning, they woke up to find Haley's room empty. It seemed that she had left their home sometime in the middle of the night. They said it really caught us off guard. We didn't really see her as being in a place where this was even a remote, slight chance of a possibility. Haley's family reported her missing to the police department on January 6th. They said they also made contact with the local chapter of the FBI, as well as the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Parents did a good job notifying everyone that they had to. And here is her page from the NCMEC, which is the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. That's a nice photo, a different one. We've got a different photo of her, of Haley. There you go. I don't even know where Fisher, in Indianapolis. I don't know where Fisher's, Indiana. Is it Indiana? Now I'm getting confused. I'm guessing it must be. Yeah, it must be. Where is that location? Okay. Okay. It's northeast Indianapolis. So if you know Indianapolis, the city, it's in the northeast, and I'll show you. It's here. So there's the city, and she's missing from up here, up in Fishers. So this region with the red. So all through here. So she's really close to the city, very close to the city area down here. So there's the city of Indianapolis, and she's from up here. So she could get to anywhere. If you zoom out, there's the little red square. I mean, you could get to Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, Kentucky, Louisville. Like, there's quite a few places you could get to from Indianapolis. So, yeah, not great. Not great to have a 17-year-old who apparently may have planned her disappearance. South of Noblesville. Okay. It's halfway between Indianapolis, and Anderson. Okay. Where's Anderson? There's Noblesville there. Anderson, right there. There's Anderson, and there's Fishers, and there's Indianapolis right there. So yeah, it is kind of halfway between. It is. There you go. Not good. 17, decided that living at home is not a good idea, and in the middle of the night left the home. I find it interesting that the cops are like, we can't tell you what has been going on in the search for her because it's an active investigation. That tells me that they know exactly who she is with. That's what it tells me. Because if they didn't, they would be plastering it all over the TV and all over the radio. The fact that they said that, I reckon they know who she's with, and it's possible it's someone maybe that targets children, maybe someone who groomed her, maybe someone who is, you know, known to police is the word I'm going to use. Maybe someone who they have dealt with before. Because, yeah, I've never heard cops say that they can't tell you what's been going on in the search for a teenager. It's a bit odd. All right, I need a drink. Hold on. All right, we're back. Um, Peachy said that leaves everything from Chicago through Ohio. It's a long way when you're looking for this girl. I just want to know, they don't tell you anything in the press conference like, is there a reason why she would want to leave home? Has there been any family disagreements? Is that what would cause her to leave? So she was from Hamilton Southeastern High School and has been missing since the beginning of the year. And they're calling it a dangerous situation that she's in. Hmm. Yeah, they say here, we've shared as much as we possibly can and put the word out. People have given us hope and strength that we need. That's her family. Um, Many details about the search for her can't be shared publicly. What they can share is that she didn't act alone. Yeah, that tells me that they may know who she's with. That's what it says to me. And that it's possible whoever she's with may be an adult. It may be like an adult male. And that's why they're saying they can't share anything. Right. It makes it sound like they know who she met up with. I agree. I definitely agree that I think they know who she's with. They just don't know where. I think that's the big thing, that they just don't know where she got to. They probably know who she's with, but not where. And that's what they're trying to find out. Let me have a look. Actually, I'm gonna try find that little girl again. Here, let me search for her. I'm just trying to see if there's been any update in the last 20 minutes for Brinley. Yeah, I'm not seeing any update. Just that they're looking for her and looking for that vehicle. Yeah, no new update on Brinley. Duh, duh, duh. Yeah, very unfortunately, I don't know why we don't have like a live search or something like that, but there isn't. Let's have a look down here. Yeah, no new update unfortunately, but the Aware Foundation has put out a poster for her. So maybe you can post it on your social media if you're from the area, and they've put out a little thing here with a QR code and the phone number for the sheriff. And they're saying here she was last seen wearing a black jacket, white boots, blue snow pants with a backpack decorated with keychains and trinkets. Under her winter gear, she had on a pink sweatshirt and black pants. They're saying anyone who has information on her should contact the Sherburne County Sheriff's Office, and the number is on your screen right now. It's also right there. But yeah, there's some photos of her. So unfortunately, no new updates about her as of yet. Ah, interesting. Anderson has a mid-sized private uni. It used to bring in a lot of bad sort of trade. Warner still said they probably have a bolo out for the 17-year-old. They probably do. And if she gets picked up, they will know and they will take her home. Probably. All right. I think that's it for the night, guys. I think that's all of my updates, I believe. It's been a bit of a funny day. I think we had one more. Hold on. Where is that? All right. I think we got one more about Michael McKee, about him being extradited, and he appeared in court, and he's been indicted in the double homicide. So I know a lot of you know about this particular case, but I thought I'd bring you a little bit of an update. If it'll load, come on. Ah, fine. We'll do it the hard way. Give me a sec. There we go. No, that's not it. Sorry, guys. We're having got too many tabs open. There we go.
The man accused of killing his ex-wife and her husband, Monique and Spencer Cheppy, is back in Ohio. He's facing murder charges. 39-year-old Michael McKee was extradited from Illinois and was booked into the James A. Carnes Correction Center on Tuesday. He was being held in Rockford, Illinois since his arrest on January 10th. A Franklin County grand jury indicted McKee last week on 4 counts of aggravated murder and 1 count of aggravated burglary. The homicides happened in the early morning hours of December 30th. McKee's arraignment date is scheduled for Friday afternoon.
Thanks for watching. For more NBC4, download the NBC4 streaming app. You'll get
There you go. So we're going to have to wait until Friday for the other part of it, but it's good that he's back. He is accused of killing his former wife, Monique, and her current husband, Spencer, allegedly left a shell casing at the scene despite using a silencer to carry out the murders. He's facing 4 counts of aggravated murder, 1 count of burglary in connection with the couple's December 30 deaths. Police found the victims fatally shot inside their Columbus home. Investigators later found 3 9mm shell casings at the scene, and then they arrested him on January 10 in Rockford, Illinois. So he's now back facing those charges and in custody. So that is all we can ask for. And then he should be back on Friday, I believe. So he was booked into Franklin County Jail on Tuesday ahead of a court appearance in Franklin County Community Plea Court. He is facing those 4 charges. He is scheduled for an arraignment hearing on Friday at 1 p.m. So that is when we'll get an update. He'll formally be arraigned, and then you'll probably get like that a plea, maybe a plea, and he'll say not guilty, and then they'll probably deny him bond at that time, and they'll keep him in custody, and then they'll book another date for court. So it might be like a month away, a couple of weeks, something like that, but they probably will not give him bail. I couldn't imagine they would. Yeah, he's very dumb. Yeah, he's very, very stupid. Trust me. He tried to use a silencer, but then left the evidence at the scene of the crime. You take the shell casings with you, you dumbass. You don't leave them. That's the whole point of using the silencer, is that nobody hears you and you take the evidence with you. You don't just go, yeah, I gotta leave the police something to try and find me. What a dumbass. But he is now in jail. He is not a good guy. The fact that he would travel that far and to kill his ex-wife, I mean, story as old as time, basically. Someone who couldn't handle that his ex-wife had moved on and decided, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna kill him. Like, yeah, just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, uh, the good news, I'm glad he is in custody. We don't have to worry about him. He's not going anywhere. So, Well, he's in jail, so it's okay. Yeah, he's not a professional at all. Yeah, there's a lot of camera evidence as well. Story as old as time. It is. It really is. Um, Emotionally immature male can't handle that his ex-partner is with another person. Hey Gracie, how are you? Good to see you. All right, a bit of a short one tonight, but it's okay. Sometimes that happens. That's what I say to all the women. But I'll see you guys tomorrow night, okay? Hey, I love you guys so much. There's been a lot of nice people reaching out saying that they will help with the we're doing fundraising to get to the trial in April for Samantha Murphy. And a lot of people saying, "Hey, I'll help out with that." And yeah, a lot of nice people. I appreciate it. And I don't have anything new on Max or his mom, Trisha Graff. I don't have anything new right now to add. But when I do, I'll let you know. But right now, it's sort of very quiet. There's not a lot of new information. There's not a lot of just anything that I think you guys would be interested in right now. We're working on something where we can put like a thing where you guys can see how much has been raised. So we're looking at doing that. But thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Yeah, have a good night, everyone. I'll see you here tomorrow. And then from Monday, we're on at 8 p.m. Eastern. From Monday next week, 8 p.m. Eastern time. That'll be the new show time from next week. Okay? Keep that in mind. No more super late. It'll be on at 8 p.m. All right. Good night, everyone. Hey, if there's a big update on that little girl, uh, Brynlee, I will come back on. I'll come back on and I will do another show. Okay? All right. Love you all. Bye.